Israel compared the New York election to 9/11. Yes, that actually happened. The moment Zohran Mamdani won, Israeli screens lit up with panic. Liberman posted the Twin Tower next to Mamdani's face and declared, "The Big Apple has fallen." Congressman Randy Fine warned America's next. Channel 14 anchors were close to tears. Channel 13 called it a disaster. I-24 insisted the Palestinian flag is what pushed him to victory. Another analyst asked on air, if Netanyahu visits New York, will he be arrested? This isn't drama, this isn't exaggeration. This is the largest Jewish community outside Israel, choosing a mayor who openly criticizes the Israeli government. Israel didn't just lose an election, it lost New York, the city it always counted on. And the political shockwave this creates is just starting. Today, we break down why Israel reacted like this and what Mamdani's win means for Israel's long-term future. I am your host. This is the Interrunner Plus. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. It's the free thing you can do to support us making this type of content, and let's dive in. New York isn't just a city in Israel's eyes, it's the backbone of its influence in America. 1.6 million Jewish residents, billions in political funding, a mayor office that has always been friendly, no matter who held the chair. For more than 70 years, every mayor of New York, Democrat or Republican, flew to Israel as a ritual. 10 mayors in a row, same pattern, same message. New York stands with Israel until now. Mamdani didn't just break the tradition, he flipped the entire script. A Muslim mayor, a mayor who protested Netanyahu at the UN, a mayor who called Israeli policy genocide, a mayor who says on record that no, he will not visit Israel and would rather stay at home and focus on New Yorkers. From Israel's point of view, this isn't a political event, this is a breach in a wall they thought was unshakable. And that's why the panic came fast. Why Israel is actually terrified? Let's be clear. Israel isn't scared of the mayor of New York as a person. They're scared of what his victory represents. Because for decades, Israel relied on two strongholds, Washington and New York. Politicians in Washington gave them unconditional political shelter. New York gave them social, cultural, and financial muscle. When both pillars weaken, Israel loses something far bigger. Its grip on American public opinion. Now watch this shift. Polls among Democratic voters. 78% say Israel is committing genocide. 79% say America should restrict arms. And 63% say Netanyahu should be arrested if he enters the city. These numbers were unthinkable 3 years ago. And here's the twist Israel fears the most. This shift includes young Jewish Americans. Washington Post poll shows 61% of Jewish Americans say Israel committed war crimes. Nearly 40% say the actions in Gaza are genocide. That's the shock inside the shock. It's not just non-Jewish turning away. It's Jewish youth breaking from the old political line. This is the part that keeps Israeli officials awake at night. Not Mamdani, not the election. The shift of an entire generation. Now let's get to the part almost nobody's talking about, the billionaire earthquake. The panic didn't start on Israeli TV, it started on Wall Street. Within hours of Mamdani winning the Democratic primary, the Financial Times revealed internal emergency calls. Hedge fund bosses, real estate giants, bankers, lawyers, political donors, all asking the same question. How do we stop this guy? Anyone but Mamdani became their slogan. Tens of millions poured into ads, consultants, ground campaigns. Michael Bloomberg alone threw over $13 million into attempts to block him. Bill Ackman jumped from candidate to candidate trying to find anyone to crush Mamdani's momentum. He even claimed that if Mamdani wins, the rich and major companies will escape to Florida. The irony? Some of these donors helped fund the same TV channels in Israel that were melting down on air, but the money didn't work. Their ads didn't work. The fear campaigns didn't work because something deeper was happening. The base of New York, the workers, students, immigrants, young voters were no longer controlled by wealthy donors. They were controlled by their anger, their rent, their bills, their view of Gaza, and their sense that the old political order was ignoring them. No amount of billionaire funding can fight that. How Mamdani won the impossible battle? Mamdani didn't climb through elite channels, he didn't win endorsements, he didn't rely on donors. He went to Fordham in the Bronx, Hillside Avenue in Queens, halal carts, barber shops, subway stations, street vendors, community gatherings, youth centers. He asked people, why did you stop voting? What makes life impossible right now? What did the Democrats fail to fix? What do you need to survive? People replied with raw frustration. Rent is choking us, food is expensive, 2 jobs and still broke, Ukraine, Gaza, we don't want endless wars, the system forgot us. These weren't interviews, these were confessions. And Mamdani turned these confessions into a political engine. Freeze rents, raise taxes on millionaires, fund childcare, free buses, lift the pressure of working families. This wasn't a leftist agenda. It was a survival agenda, and voters connected with him. Ali Najmi, Mamdani's lawyer, said it best. There is no enough money to stop him. He's right. You can't buy the level of trust Mamdani built in working class neighborhoods. Why this win changes Israel's long-term future? This is the core of the episode. This is where everything connects, because Mamdani's win isn't a local event, it's a geopolitical signal. Israel sees 3 major threats now. 1. The collapse of unconditional support in America. Israel always depended on blind loyalty from US politics. That era is ending. 2. Rising politicians who openly challenge Israel. Before Mamdani, any American politician criticizing Israel risked career suicide. Now, it's a winning strategy in some cities. That's a different universe. 3. The demographic time bomb. The next generation of US voters, young, diverse, angry, broke, and politically awake, support Palestine more than any generation in US history. In Israel's eyes, Mamdani is not an isolated win. He is the first domino. Someone in Tel Aviv said on TV, "This will spread." He is not wrong. And this takes us to the question Israel genuinely fears, the one that almost slipped out on live TV. If Netanyahu lands in New York, will the mayor try to arrest him? When a sitting leader of an allied country can ask that question publicly, you know something historic has shifted. This is no longer about one mayor, this is about the future. A future where Israel may not have guaranteed protection from Washington, where young Jewish Americans openly break with Zionist politics, where the richest, most influential city in America is no longer an automatic ally. Israel is facing a new political reality, and Mamdani is the symbol of that reality. To understand why Israel reacted like someone pulled the fire alarm, you need to look at the long game. Because Mamdani's win doesn't threaten Israel today, it threatens the Israel of 10, 15, 20 years from now. Let's break it down clearly. 1. Israel's old strategy depended on one assumption: America will always protect us. Not because of values or morality or shared culture, but because Congress was locked in, New York was locked in, major donors were locked in, media narratives were locked in. That four-part shield was Israel's insurance policy. For decades, it worked. And then, virtually overnight, the shield cracked. The Gaza war didn't just damage Israel's reputation, it shattered it among young Americans. You can't bomb people for 2 years straight and expect the world to stay quiet while scrolling TikTok and watching universities erupt. People saw everything live in 4K, unfiltered. And that's where Mamdani enters the picture. He's the first major politician to win a major American office by openly criticizing the Israeli government and surviving political consequences. That alone signals something historic. The fear is gone, the taboo is broken, and once a taboo breaks, it never goes back to normal. For decades, Israel operated with a simple blueprint: win Washington, win New York, control the media narratives, maintain influence through money, punish politicians who step out the line. That was the formula. But look at the new landscape. AIPAC spent $15 million to crush Jamal Bowman and still lost influence. People saw the playbook, recognized the pattern, and started pushing back. New York's mayor, the symbolic capital of Jewish power, is now openly critical of Israel, and this is the one Israel didn't prepare for. American youth have already chosen a side, and it's not Israel's. Poll after poll prove it, universities prove it, social movements prove it, election data prove it. Jewish youth are diverted from Israeli policy. This is massive. This destroys the traditional talking point that Jews support Israel as one bloc. That world is gone. Pro-Israel billionaires have lost their political leverage. Bloomberg couldn't stop Mamdani, Ackman couldn't stop him, even a coordinated elite push couldn't stop him. And this leads to Israel's biggest long-term nightmare, a future where American cities elect mayors, governors, senators who all share Mamdani's worldview. People who see Israel not as a moral ally, but as a foreign country committing human rights abuses. This is an irreversible shift. Once it begins, it never stops. Let's imagine what happens next. Not fantasy, just follow the momentum. New York falls, Chicago follows, Detroit, Seattle, San Francisco, Boston, Houston, Philadelphia, Baltimore. One by one, major American cities elect leaders who do not fear criticizing the Israeli government and who are elected because they criticize it. Suddenly, Senate seats flip, House seats flip, governors change, national platforms shift, primaries reward anti-occupation candidates, donors lose control of the narrative. This is not a speculation, this is how politics evolve. Israel's fear is simple. Mamdani is not the peak, he is the prototype, and prototypes get copied. And with this, we reach the heart of the story. The reason Israel melted down on live television is not because they hated Mamdani, it's because they understand what his victory means. When the political capital of American Judaism elects an anti-occupation mayor by a massive margin despite $40 million fighting against him, it means something fundamental has shifted. Israel built its political survival on American stability. But America has changed. The youth, the media, the cities, political values, tolerance for war, relationship with power have all changed. And New York, the loudest, most symbolic, most influential city in the entire country, just chose a mayor who represents that new world. A world where saying Israel committed war crimes is no longer career-ending. A world where calling for Netanyahu's arrest is not political suicide, it's actually popular. A world where young Jewish Americans break from Zionist politics and side with Palestinians. A world that Israel is not prepared for, not politically, strategically, or emotionally. This is the beginning of a new era. So let me leave you with this. Israel didn't lose an election, Israel lost the illusion of control. Mamdani's victory is not the story of one mayor, it's the story of an entire generation walking away from political alliance that once felt unbreakable. A story with consequences for Congress, for foreign policy, for global politics, and for the Middle East itself. If this is what happens in New York today, what will America look like tomorrow? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. This is the Interrunner Plus. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. It costs nothing but helps us a lot.